I'm coming out of the theater after watching Furiosa, and I gotta say,
it's kind of really good. It's called
what's it called then?
Mad Max 2.
Mad Max 2, and
Mad Max minus 1.
it was an entertaining movie to watch. Some goofy, CGI effects, green screen effects. How about you? So I'm being told that you gotta feel the heartbeat, the heart of the wasteland. I'm running on fire and steel, a city of bad dreams. We're burning up engines and taking my hands off the wheel. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but anyways, welcome to one of my movie reviews. Today I'll be reviewing a movie about the wasteland. And no, I'm not talking about the Fallout wasteland. You know, the one that goes like, I don't want to set the world on fire. Yeah, not that one. I'm talking something a bit more sandy, a bit more orange, a bit more racing. Well, it's not really racing, it's just more vehicles. You get it yet? If you guessed it right, good for you. I'm going to be reviewing FuriROSA, a Mad Max saga. If the name didn't make it obvious for you, this movie is part of the Mad Max universe, and it's a prequel to what was that one called again? Fury Road? Yeah, Fury Road. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I think I've only seen Fury Road, and I don't even remember much about it. But I know for a fact I've seen it. But yeah, this movie follows the story of FuriROSA and how she became the way she is in Fury Road. She gets kidnapped as a kid. She experiences lots of trauma. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Trauma. And as she grows up, she starts becoming stronger physically and mentally. And she starts fighting against those who she couldn't have fought back against as a kid. So, yeah. That's basically all I'm gonna say for the plot. And with that out the way, let's move on to the things I liked about this movie. The first thing I liked about this movie was the wasteland. You see, me personally, I like the wasteland aesthetic. I like seeing the world change into this almost fantasy, post-apocalyptic world. Some shit that you can't see in real life and only in movies or in other types of media. And this movie displays that setting perfectly. They show several regions of this world in the movie, and they show how the people that are living in this world have overcome the hardships, and how every single, I guess you could call, tribe or civilization have created their own customs. And from a visual point of view, the wasteland looks beautiful. I really love how they have their highlights of orange and blue, and sometimes yellow, I guess you could say. Those colors mix in really well to create this world, and they pop during the car battles, which I'll get to in just a second. And now moving on to the second thing I liked about this movie, which I already mentioned, the car battles, or should I say the battles, the vehicle fights. You know what I'm talking about. It's the fights that take place within the vehicles, especially that big one they had in the middle of the movie, where it was like this giant rig, and you had Furiosa on the bottom, just chilling. That shit went hard, dude. They had so many things to look out for. People in the sky, people trying to hijack the rig, other motherfuckers on other vehicles shooting at them. It was a really entertaining fight to watch. And it was cool seeing all the features that the rig had, because at one point it had like a claw coming out of it. And it also has some other types of self-defense mechanisms built in it, which just made me say, how creative of someone to think of that. You know what? I'm going to call it the battle rig. But this battle rig reminds me a lot of the tank from Black Ops 2 Zombies, the map Origins. They have very similar concepts. And the third thing I liked about this movie was the showing of FuriROSA's growth. At first, we meet her as a kid, and at the end of the movie, she becomes the FuriROSA we know from Fury Road. She becomes bald. Anyways, it was cool seeing how she was this defenseless kid in the beginning, right? But then she starts picking up on like ways to manipulate things around her for her own advantage. She would, let me think of something. She would disguise herself as a boy, and at one point she made her hair into a wig. And by doing that, it would give her a chance to escape if someone ever grabbed her by her hair, which did happen. But that's all I'm going to say. But you see how fast she adapts to this new environment. Because like I said, originally she was kidnapped from her homeland, which wasn't so wastelandish. It was more of a forest. And then she was brought into the wasteland by force. So she had no idea what the hell was happening. All I'm saying is she was fighting the wasteland itself. And she overcame that shit. Let's move on to the fourth thing I liked about this movie, which was Dementus. Chris Hemsworth character that he plays. This man is a master manipulator. And I think he's one of the funniest characters in this movie. And also the funniest villain too. You know, at first he's presented as this ruler with like a serious tone to him. But then he just starts getting goofy. If you went up to him and you told him pigs can fly, he'd kill you right on the spot. Not because he hates you, but because he hates pigs. Anyways, let's move on to the things I did not like about this movie. The first thing I didn't like about this movie was the visual effects. Mainly the green screen. Now, I did not like it, right? But it wasn't like a big problem for the movie. It was just awful at some parts. Like during the battle rig scene. Here, I might put a picture up. They had the camera focus on a character. And it just looks so awful. I'm not talking about the character, but I'm talking about the green screen. I don't know if it's like this, the smoke around it made it look weird, but it just did not fit. It just looked fake, which it is fake. But like, if you want to make a movie, you want to make things look real. And I think that's also the only example, because I can't think of anything else. No, it was just that. It was just that specific shot that just looked awful. Anyways, the second thing I didn't like about this movie, there were some plot holes. And one specific plot hole that I didn't like was, would you call it a plot hole? I guess you could call it a plot hole. But it's that the characters forgot about FuriROSA. What was that brother's name? Joe. Yeah, Joe. The tyrant dude with the long hair. He wanted to make FuriROSA one of his wives, but she was still a kid, so he was just gonna wait for her to grow up and shit, right? But for some reason, he just forgets about that. He just forgets that FuriROSA exists, which I think is kind of funny. Felt off to him, which just felt off because I kept, thinking to myself, like, does he remember who she is, or is he just, like, ignoring her on purpose? But yeah. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about the bad things about this movie. So let's move on to the conclusion of this review. And my overall score for this movie is going to be 8 teddy bears out of 10 teddy bears. So, an 8 out of 10. A decent action movie with a story that somewhat helps the pacing. And would I recommend this movie to you? My answer is yes. You should watch it. It's a very fun, action-packed movie with cars, sand, gun violence. What else? Did I mention cars? Alright. And honestly, I don't think you have to watch the other Mad Max movies. I feel like it's okay for you to watch this without having to watch the other films. I may be wrong. And if I had the job of choosing the title for this movie, do you know what I would call it? I'd call it Fire and Steel. Feel the heartbeat, the heart of the wasteland. I'm running on fire and steel. City of bad dreams, we're burning up engines, taking my hands off the wheel. Anyways, that's all I gotta say about this movie. So, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I will see y'all in the next review or video. I mean, you already know what's up, so I'll be seeing all of you later. Adios.